Our first fourth class speaker is Cadet Maya Gause. Her speech is entitled Sex Trafficking, Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places.
Testing. Good evening. I go by Emmy G. But you can call me your sister, girlfriend, niece, or even your daughter. And this is my story. I was 15 years old. My boyfriend just broke up with me right after my mom died. He told me that he never wanted to hear from me again, and he didn't text me back or return any of my calls. I was on University Boulevard doing laundry at the laundry shop, and I spotted this guy. He had curly hair, toned brown skin. He looked like one of the guys out of the Black Power movies. He was so handsome. He offered me some money to do my laundry with, and of course I took it. After that, we continued to talk, and he made me feel so loved, which was something that I wasn't used to getting at home. He offered me to come over to his place the next day, and of course I went. And then he turned me out. I woke up in a pitch black hotel room with two men holding me down, and the guy that I just met the day before said, "Get on your knees and close your eyes." I spent the next 3 years of my life having sex with 10 different men every day. This is the story of how an average 15-year-old girl can become a victim of sex trafficking. Sex trafficking, otherwise known as modern-day slavery, is the outcome of white slavery, which was started in 1904. Girls ages 11 through 17 can get into this business for multiple reasons. Some are kidnapped or tricked into the trade. But from watching the documentaries Girlhood and Tricked, I realized that the main reason girls get into this business is because they're looking for love, and they feel as if they cannot find it from anywhere else. Prostitution is sex work by choice, not under anyone's control. Sex trafficking is being forced in the sex industry against one's will. Prostitution, voluntary. Sex trafficking, forced. This is not love. At these ages, girls are going through a lot of emotional changes, and they are very vulnerable. That vulnerability is exactly what pimps look for. There are many aspects to look at to solve this multi-million-dollar industry issue, but ultimately, the only way we can do this is through prevention. Creating more community programs and introducing the topic of sex trafficking into middle schools and high schools before the girls are able to get exposed to it, and creating more community programs that include mentorship will raise awareness on the subject and prevent girls from possibly getting raped, beaten, and most important, sold as sex slaves. So this is how it goes. I'm gonna place you in the scene. On a typical night in the streets, you have a pimp. This is the man that takes care of you. He gives you a Happy Meal, gives you a place to stay, and if he likes you, he'll get your hair and your nails done, so you look good for the Johns. The Johns are the men that are paying to rape you. Typically, they'll ask you how much do you charge, and you tell them whatever you think your services are worth. But keep in mind, you have a quota to meet at the end of the night, and if you do not meet this quota, your pimp can turn into a gorilla, which is a pimp who uses physical force or violence to beat his woman for not bringing him back enough money. Hollywood has influenced what girls think sex trafficking is. Often that violence that girls see to women is what they see as acceptable in society. Just as an example of how raunchy this business is, according to Amanda Clover, author of Sex Trafficking, HIV/AIDS, pimps look for young girls on the streets to sell off as virgins to the Johns that have HIV and AIDS, because it's a myth in the sex trafficking world that if you have sex with a virgin, it will cure you of your disease. Raising awareness to these young girls and teaching them that they are worth a lot more than what society is trying to tell them is exactly how we will combat this issue. When I interviewed equal rights attorney from rightsforgirls.org, Maheen Kaleem, she proposed. A lot of the girls had gotten into this business. They were prior to sex abuse before they got into the business. And they were failed by the systems that were supposed to protect them, whether that was the family system, the child welfare system, the police who sent them back to an abusive environment, and the school system. Despite this, working together as a state, we can incorporate mandatory conferences in middle schools and high schools and increase the number of mentorship-induced nonprofit organizations. This will provide confidence, self-love, and raise awareness to these young girls and teaching them that they are worth a lot more than what society has to say. My real name is Maya Gause. I'm a resident of Jacksonville, Florida, and I aspire to lead a big sister organization in teaching young girls about everyday issues. The problem of teenage sex trafficking is unacceptable. Girls ages 11 through 17 are out on the streets being dominated by and being forced to give sexual favors to countless unknown men on the streets. This problem is only going to be solved through mentorship and giving these girls someone that they can look up to. Save our girls. This is rape.